Christmas Eve morning in Greenwich, Connecticut. 7-year-old twins Maya and Mira Thompson sneak into their stepmother Victoria's locked study while she's at her country club meeting. They're searching for their missing mother's jewelry box. Instead, Maya finds a manila envelope hidden behind law books. Inside are medical records dated 3 weeks ago with their mother Simone's name and a hospital stamp. But their father told them Mommy left 2 years ago to find herself in Europe. Maya's hands shake as she reads the patient status. Discharged to Mercy Psychiatric Hospital. Current condition: sedated. Legal guardian: Victoria Whitmore Thompson. The twins carefully photograph the documents with Mira's old tablet before Victoria returns. Their hearts pound so loudly they can hear them in their ears. Maya's fingers tremble as she positions the tablet camera over each page, making sure every word is visible. Mira keeps watch at the door, peeking through the crack into the hallway. They both know if Victoria catches them, there will be consequences. Victoria doesn't hit them, but her punishments are worse. Silent treatments that last for days, withholding their favorite foods, canceling playdates with the few friends they have left, making them stand in the corner for hours while she hosts her dinner parties, displayed like objects to show her friends how charitable she is. They move quickly, replacing everything exactly as they found it. The manila envelope goes back behind the law books. The study door is relocked using the spare key they found hidden in the kitchen drawer. They retreat to their bedroom just as they hear Victoria's Mercedes pull into the circular driveway. Through their window, they watch her emerge from the car. Perfectly coiffed blonde hair, designer sunglasses, cream-colored cashmere coat. She looks like she belongs in a magazine. Beautiful, polished, cold. She's on her phone, and even from the second floor they can hear her voice rising. Maya cracks open their bedroom window just an inch. Victoria's words drift up clearly. The girls are becoming problems. They keep asking about Simone. We need to handle this before they ruin everything. The person on the other end says something they can't hear. Victoria responds sharply. I don't care what it costs. Move her to the secure wing. No visitors, not even Marcus. Then she ends the call and walks into the house, her heels clicking on the marble foyer. The twins look at each other, fear written across their identical faces. Maya pulls out the tablet, and they huddle together on Mira's bed, scrolling through the photos they took. The medical records are damning. Their mother has been at Mercy Psychiatric Hospital for the past 2 years, not traveling through Europe like their father told them. The records show regular sedation, restricted communication, no visitors except Victoria herself, who visited exactly once, 3 months ago. There are doctor's notes describing their mother as confused, disoriented, asking repeatedly about her daughters. One note from 6 months ago reads, Patient continues to insist she has twin daughters named Maya and Mira. Becomes agitated when told the children don't visit. Recommend increased sedation to manage delusions. The twins feel sick reading it. Their mother isn't delusional. They're real. They exist. Why would Victoria tell the doctors their mother is imagining them? Mira starts crying softly, burying her face in her stuffed elephant. Maya wraps her arms around her sister, but her mind is racing. They need to understand what's happening. They start thinking back over the past 2 years, looking for clues they missed. They remember how it started. One day, Mommy was there, making them breakfast, braiding their hair, singing while she cooked. The next day, she was gone. Their father sat them down in the living room, his eyes red and puffy, and told them Mommy needed to go away for a while. She wasn't happy. She needed to find herself. She loved them, but she had to leave. Victoria appeared a week later. She'd been Mommy's friend, she said. She wanted to help. At first it seemed nice, but then Victoria moved in. And slowly, everything changed. All of Mommy's photos disappeared from the walls. Her clothes vanished from the closets. Her favorite coffee mug, the one that said "World's Best Mom," was thrown away. When Maya asked about it, Victoria said, Your mother left these things behind because she didn't want them anymore. Just like she didn't want you. The words had cut deep. Maya cried for days. Their father married Victoria 6 months after Mommy disappeared. The wedding was small, cold, Nothing like the warm, joyful celebration they'd seen in photos of their parents' first wedding. Maya and Mira weren't even invited. They learned about it when Victoria moved her belongings into their father's bedroom and announced at dinner, "I'm your new mother now. You'll call me Mother Victoria." But they never did. They couldn't. She wasn't their mother. Their mother had warm brown skin like theirs, wore her natural hair in beautiful twists, laughed loud and free, hugged them so tight they felt safe from everything. Victoria was nothing like that. Victoria's skin was pale, her hair artificially blonde and always perfectly straightened. She smiled with her mouth but never her eyes. Her hugs, on the rare occasions she gave them, felt like being held by a mannequin. Cold, hollow, performative. Now they understand why. Victoria never wanted to be their mother. She wanted something else entirely. That night at dinner, the twins watched their father carefully. Marcus Thompson sits at the head of the table, but he doesn't seem like the man they remember. Before Mommy disappeared, their father was vibrant, energetic, always laughing. He was the regional director of a major tech company, confident and successful. He used to toss them in the air and catch them, take them to the park every Sunday, read them bedtime stories with different voices for every character. Now he seems like a shadow. He moves slowly, speaks quietly, barely makes eye contact. Victoria controls the conversation, talking about the Christmas Eve gala tomorrow night, reminding him to wear the navy suit she bought him, telling him what time they need to leave. Marcus just nods, pushing food around his plate. Maya notices Victoria preparing his tea. She always does. Every night after dinner, she makes him a special herbal blend she claims helps him relax. Marcus drinks it without question, and within an hour, he's always drowsy, heading to bed early. Tonight, as Victoria hands him the cup, Maya sees her add an extra spoonful of honey. But there's something else, too. A tiny vial Victoria pulls from her cardigan pocket, adding just a few drops to the tea before stirring. Marcus doesn't notice. He never notices. The twins exchange glances. Is Victoria drugging their father? It would explain so much. His memory lapses, his confusion, the way he seems to exist in a fog. The twins try to talk to him after dinner, following him into his office before Victoria can intercept. "Daddy," Maya says, her voice small and hopeful. "Do you remember Mommy? What she looked like? How she used to make us pancakes on Saturdays?" Marcus looks at them with tired, unfocused eyes. "Your mother left, sweetheart. She couldn't handle being a parent. It's better this way. Victoria takes good care of you." "But Daddy," Mira presses. "Don't you miss her? Don't you wonder where she is?" Marcus's expression flickers, something like pain crossing his face. Then it's gone, replaced by the blank fog. "Victoria takes good care of us," he repeats, like a programmed response. "Don't ask about your mother anymore. It upsets Victoria when you bring her up. The dismissal hurts worse than anything. Their father, who once loved their mother so deeply, now speaks about her like she's a stranger he barely remembers." Victoria appears in the doorway. "Girls, bedtime. Now." Her voice brooks no argument. They kiss their father goodnight and head upstairs, but Maya lingers on the landing, watching through the railings. Victoria closes the office door, and through the frosted glass, Maya sees her father slump forward, head in hands. Is he crying, remembering, fighting against whatever drugs Victoria is giving him? Maya can't tell. She goes to their room where Mira is already in her pajamas, clutching their mother's journal that they'd smuggled out of the attic months ago. It's the only thing of their mother's Victoria didn't manage to destroy. They read it sometimes when they miss her, tracing their fingers over her handwriting, trying to remember her voice. Tonight, they need it more than ever. The next morning, Christmas preparations are in full swing. Victoria's wealthy white friends arrive for brunch, their luxury cars filling the circular driveway. The house smells of expensive catering, floral arrangements that cost more than most people's monthly rent. Maya and Mira are dressed in matching velvet dresses Victoria chose, their hair painfully pulled into tight buns that make their scalps ache. They're paraded into the sunroom where Victoria's friends gather, women in their 40s and 50s wearing pearls and judgment in equal measure. "Girls, say hello to Mrs. Whitmore and Mrs. Pemberton," Victoria commands. They obey, offering polite smiles and rehearsed greetings. Mrs. Whitmore, Victoria's mother, looks them over with barely concealed disdain. "Victoria, dear, you're a saint for taking in Marcus's children. Such a burden after their mother abandoned them." Mrs. Pemberton nods enthusiastically, sipping mimosa. "You've done wonders. They're so well behaved for, well, you know." The pause is heavy with meaning. The twins understand perfectly. For black children. For kids who don't belong in this wealthy white neighborhood. For charity cases. Victoria plays her role perfectly, placing a hand on each twin's shoulder and squeezing just hard enough to hurt without leaving marks. "It's my Christian duty." These poor girls needed structure, guidance, a proper upbringing. Their mother was so, how do I say it, unprepared for the responsibilities of motherhood. The lies flow smoothly from Victoria's lips. The twins stand there, silent, knowing any protest will result in punishment later. They've learned to survive in this house by becoming invisible, speaking only when spoken to, never contradicting Victoria in front of her friends. After the brunch guests leave, the twins help clean up, carrying dishes to the kitchen under Victoria's watchful eye. Once she's satisfied, she dismisses them. "Go play in your room. Your father and I have shopping to do for tonight's gala. Don't touch anything, don't make a mess, and stay away from my study." The moment Victoria and their father drive away, the twins spring into action. They remember something important. Last year, before Christmas, their father showed them letters supposedly from their mother. He'd been crying, holding the pages like they were precious artifacts. "She still thinks about you," he'd said, tears running down his face. "She just can't come back. She's not well enough." The letters are kept in his office safe. The twins know the combination because they watched him open it once, memorizing the numbers. 0815, August 15th, their mother's birthday. They slip into the office, closing the door quietly behind them. The safe is built into the wall behind a painting of a sailboat, one of Victoria's tasteless additions to the house. Maya lifts the painting down carefully, and Mira works the combination. The safe clicks open. Inside are important documents, some jewelry, a stack of cash, and beneath everything, a bundle of letters tied with string. Maya pulls them out carefully. 5 letters total, dated over the past 2 years. The first is dated 3 weeks after their mother disappeared. The postmark says Paris, France. "My dearest girls," the letter begins. "I'm so sorry I had to leave. I wasn't well. I was having thoughts that scared me, feelings I couldn't control. Your father tried to help, but I need to heal on my own. Please don't be angry with me. I love you more than anything, but I can't be the mother you deserve right now. I hope someday you'll understand. All my love, Mommy." The second letter, dated 6 months later, has a London postmark. It talks about therapy, about working through issues, about missing them terribly but needing more time. The third letter, from Barcelona, mentions how beautiful Spain is, how she's learning to paint, how she thinks of them every day. The fourth and fifth letters, both from Paris again, are shorter, more distant. They mention possibly visiting someday when she's fully recovered, but there are no concrete plans, no real details. Maya reads them carefully, and something feels wrong. The handwriting is beautiful, consistent, flowing, but their mother was left-handed. Her writing always slanted backward, the letters hooking in a distinctive way. These letters slant forward. The penmanship is too perfect, too careful. It doesn't look natural. It looks practiced. Mira examines the postmarks using a magnifying glass from their father's desk drawer. The stamps are smudged, the postmarks unclear. Some of the ink looks too fresh, not faded like stamps that traveled across an ocean should look. She points this out to Maya, who nods grimly. These letters might be fake. But why would someone forge letters from their mother? And who? They dig deeper into the safe. Beneath the letters, they find their parents' marriage certificate, their mother's passport with no exit stamps after the date she supposedly disappeared, and a legal document that makes their blood run cold. It's a postnuptial agreement dated 3 months before their mother vanished. The document states that if Marcus and Simone Thompson divorce, Marcus retains full custody of the children and all marital assets. Simone gets nothing. No money, no custody, no rights. At the bottom is a signature that's supposed to be their mother's, but it looks wrong, shaky, uncertain. Nothing like the bold, confident signature on their school permission slips from years ago. Maya photographs everything with the tablet while Mira keeps watch. They're running out of time. Victoria and their father will be back soon. As Maya is about to close the safe, she notices something wedged in the back corner, a small USB drive with a label written in their father's handwriting, "Security footage. Do not erase." The twins look at each other. This is it. This is the evidence they need. Maya grabs the USB drive and they move to their father's computer. The screen requires a password. Maya tries their mother's birthday. Access denied. She tries their birthday. Access denied. Then she tries something else. The date their parents got married, which she remembers from the certificate she just saw. June 7th, 2010. She types 06072010. The computer unlocks. Her hands shake as she inserts the USB drive. The folder contains dozens of video files, all dated from 2 to 3 years ago. She clicks on the oldest file. The video quality is grainy, but clear enough. It's this office, filmed from a camera mounted near the ceiling. The timestamp shows a date 2 years ago, 1 week before their mother disappeared. In the video, their mother enters the office, and Victoria follows her. Simone looks upset, her eyes red from crying. Victoria closes the door behind them. The audio is faint but audible. "Victoria, I know what you're doing," Simone says. "I know you've been spreading lies about me. Telling Marcus I'm unstable, calling Child Protective Services with false reports, planting evidence to make me look like a bad mother." Victoria's expression is cold. "I don't know what you're talking about. You're paranoid, Simone. That's the anxiety medication affecting you. Maybe you need a higher dose." "Don't gaslight me," Simone snaps. "I know you want my husband. I know you've wanted him since we met. But Marcus loves me. We have a family. You can't just insert yourself into our lives and expect me to disappear." Victoria laughs, and it's a chilling sound. "Oh, Simone, poor, naive Simone. You're already disappearing. Everyone sees it. The episodes at the twins' school when you allegedly had a breakdown, the time you supposedly left them alone at the park, the concerning calls to the police about threats you were making. It's all documented. Everyone thinks you're losing your mind." "My mind is fine," Simone says desperately. "You're framing me. You're drugging Marcus. I've seen you put things in his drinks. You're manipulating him, making him doubt me." Victoria steps closer, her voice dropping low. "You're unstable, Simone. Everyone will believe it. You're already on anxiety medication." A few anonymous calls to Child Protective Services, some concerning incidents at the twins' school blamed on your erratic behavior, and the court will see you're unfit. And when you're gone, I'll finally have what I deserve. Marcus, the life he can provide. Everything you took from me. You can't do this, Simone whispers, tears streaming down her face. "They're my daughters. I love them. They need me." "They need you less than they need stability," Victoria replies coldly. "And I can provide that. You're just an obstacle, Simone, and obstacles get removed." The video cuts off abruptly. The timestamp shows it was recorded exactly 1 week before their mother disappeared. Maya and Mira stare at the screen, horror and rage battling in their chests. Victoria planned everything. She deliberately destroyed their mother's credibility, made her look unstable, and then what? Made her disappear? The twins quickly copy the USB drive contents to the tablet, then return everything to the safe exactly as they found it. They close the painting over the safe, make sure the office looks undisturbed, and retreat to their room just minutes before they hear Victoria's car in the driveway. The twins are shaken but determined. They spend the rest of the afternoon in their room, pretending to play while actually reviewing all the evidence they've gathered. The medical records showing their mother in a psychiatric hospital, the forged letters, the security footage of Victoria threatening their mother, it all points to something horrifying. Victoria didn't just steal their father and insert herself into their family. She systematically destroyed their mother's life, had her committed to a mental institution, and has been keeping her there for 2 years. But why hasn't their father done anything? Why does he believe Victoria's lies? That question is answered during dinner. Victoria prepares their father's meal herself, as she always does. She brings him tea, just the way he likes it. She's attentive, caring, the picture of a devoted wife. Marcus smiles at her weakly, gratefully, like a man dependent on the only person who takes care of him. The twins watch Victoria's every move. When she goes to the kitchen to get dessert, Maya follows her, hiding behind the doorframe. She watches Victoria pull out their father's evening tea. But before bringing it to him, Victoria adds something from a small bottle hidden in the spice cabinet. Just a few drops, stirred quickly until it dissolves. Maya's heart pounds. She's drugging him, right in front of them, night after night, keeping him compliant, confused, dependent. At dinner, Victoria makes her usual subtle racist comments, disguised as concern. "Girls, your hair is too wild for tomorrow's gala. We need it straightened, not in those ethnic styles. You need to look presentable." Mira tries to protest. "But Mommy used to do our hair in twists and braids. We liked it that way." Victoria's smile is sharp. "Your mother's choices were inappropriate for your social standing. Tomorrow is an important event. My family will be there, important people from the community. You need to look refined, not urban." The word urban drips with disdain. It's a code word they've learned to recognize. Urban means black. Urban means different. Urban means not acceptable in Victoria's world. Their father barely reacts, lost in his medicated fog. When Mira looks at him pleadingly, hoping he'll defend them, he just nods vaguely. "Listen to Victoria, girls. She knows best." The defeat in his voice is heartbreaking. This man used to be their champion, their protector. Now he's a puppet Victoria controls with precision. After dinner, while their father retreats to his study for his nightly drug stupor, Victoria corners the twins in the hallway. Her voice is low, threatening. "I've noticed you two have been snooping around, asking questions, going places you shouldn't go. That stops now. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. We have a very important gala. You will behave perfectly. You will smile. You will be polite. You will not embarrass me. Do you understand?" They nod, not trusting their voices. Victoria leans closer, her perfume overwhelming. "If you cause any problems, if you mention your mother, if you make a scene, there will be consequences. Severe consequences. Your father won't protect you. He barely remembers he has children these days. And your precious Aunt Jasmine, who you think might help, has been banned from seeing you. I made sure of that with a restraining order based on her history of conflict with white foster families. No one will believe her over me." The threat is clear. They're alone, trapped in this house with a woman who destroyed their mother and controls their father. That night, unable to sleep, the twins make a desperate decision. They need to reach out for help. Their mother's sister, Aunt Jasmine, was banned from seeing them a year ago. Victoria claimed she was a bad influence, too radical, filling the girls' heads with nonsense about their mother. But Aunt Jasmine loved them. She fought for them. She never believed Mommy abandoned them. The twins find her phone number in an old contact list on their father's phone. Using Mira's tablet, they send a text message. "Aunt Jazzy, it's Maya and Mira. Victoria is lying. Mom didn't leave. She's in a hospital. Victoria put her there. She forged documents. She's drugging Daddy. We found proof. We're scared. Victoria said she's going to handle us. Please help. We need you. Please." They send the message and wait, huddled together in Mira's bed, the tablet hidden under the covers. Minutes pass, then hours. No response. Maybe Aunt Jasmine changed her number. Maybe she won't get the message. Maybe no one can help them. Finally, at 2 a.m, the tablet buzzes with a response. "My babies. I've been trying to reach you for 2 years. Victoria blocked me from everything. I never stopped fighting for you. I'm coming. Tomorrow. Don't let Victoria know. Be strong. I love you." The twins cry quietly, relief and fear mixing together. Aunt Jasmine is coming. But will she be in time? Will Victoria do something before then? They decide they need more evidence. Concrete, Undeniable proof that even Victoria's expensive lawyers can't dispute. They remember the attic. Victoria declared it off limits a year ago after they tried to explore it. She claimed it was dangerous, full of old furniture and potential hazards. But maybe there's something up there, something Victoria doesn't want them to find. On Christmas Eve morning, while Victoria is at her salon getting ready for the gala, and their father is sleeping off his nightly dose of sedatives, the twins sneak up to the attic. The door is locked, but they've learned how to pick simple locks using videos from the internet. Maya works the bobby pin carefully until the lock clicks. The attic door swings open, revealing a dark staircase leading up. The twins climb carefully, using their phone flashlight to light the way. The attic is huge, dusty, filled with boxes and old furniture covered in sheets. They start searching methodically. Most boxes contain old decorations, winter clothes, random household items. But in the far corner, hidden behind a stack of boxes labeled donations, they find what they're looking for. 3 large boxes with their mother's name written on them in marker. The twins' hearts race as they open the first box. Inside are photo albums, framed pictures of their mother with them as babies, artwork they made in preschool that their mother saved, awards from school. Every precious memory Victoria claimed was donated or thrown away. The second box contains their mother's clothes, her jewelry, her favorite books, items that smell faintly like her perfume even after 2 years. The third box is the most important. It contains journals. Their mother's personal journals spanning years. The twins sit on the dusty attic floor and read by flashlight. The earliest entries are happy, chronicling their parents' courtship, their wedding, the twins' births. Their mother's joy radiates from every page. But then the tone changes. About 3 years ago, the entries become worried. Simone writes about Victoria entering their lives, befriending her at a charity event. At first, Victoria seemed nice. A lonely woman, looking for friendship. But gradually, Victoria's behavior became strange. She showed up uninvited. She called Marcus frequently with questions about work. She started criticizing Simone's parenting, her housekeeping, her appearance, always subtle, always disguised as concern. Then Victoria began spreading rumors. Simone writes about phone calls from Child Protective Services investigating anonymous reports of neglect. The reports were lies, but they had to be investigated. Teachers at the twins' school started questioning Simone's mental stability based on things Victoria had told them, claiming to be concerned about her friend. Simone's entries become increasingly frantic. She knows Victoria is behind it, but she can't prove it. Worse, when she tries to tell Marcus, he doesn't believe her. He thinks she's being paranoid. He suggests she increase her anxiety medication. The entries from 6 months before her disappearance reveal Victoria's escalation. Simone writes about feeling foggy, confused, having memory gaps. She suspects Victoria is drugging her coffee when they meet for their weekly lunch dates. She writes about finding her anxiety medication bottle tampered with, pills that look slightly different. She mentions waking up sometimes with no memory of the previous day, finding evidence that she did things she doesn't remember doing. Then comes the entry dated 1 month before her disappearance. Victoria convinced Marcus to attend a dinner party. During the party, Simone watched Victoria slip something into Marcus's drink. When Simone confronted her, Victoria smiled and said Marcus just needed to relax, that the stress of dealing with Simone's mental health was taking a toll on him. The next morning, Marcus couldn't remember most of the evening. He'd signed documents he had no recollection of signing. The final entry is dated the day Simone disappeared. "I'm meeting Victoria today. She says she wants to apologize, to help me prove I'm stable. She's arranged for a wellness check with a psychiatrist she knows. But I don't trust her. Something feels wrong. If something happens to me, if I disappear, please God, let someone find these journals. Let Maya and Mira know their mother loved them with everything. Let them know I never abandoned them. Victoria Whitmore is evil. She's been drugging Marcus for months. I saw her slip something in his drink at dinner last week. He signed papers he doesn't remember signing. She's stealing our lives, piece by piece. I'm terrified, but I have to try to stop her. If this is my last entry, know that I fought for my family. I fought for my babies, and I never ever stopped loving them." The entry ends there. The twins are sobbing, clutching their mother's journal. She didn't leave them. She never wanted to leave. She was trying to protect them, and Victoria destroyed her for it. At the bottom of the box, beneath the journals, Maya finds something else. Official-looking documents. Commitment papers for Mercy Psychiatric Hospital, signed by their father, authorizing Simone's indefinite hospitalization for severe delusional disorder and risk to self and others. But the signature looks wrong. Maya pulls out her tablet and compares it to documents she photographed from the safe. The signature is close, but not perfect. Then she finds another paper in the box. A practice sheet showing Victoria's handwriting, attempting Marcus's signature over and over again, practicing until she got it right. Dozens of attempts, getting closer each time. Victoria forged their father's signature on the commitment papers. She had their mother forcibly institutionalized based on lies and forged documents. Maya is about to show Mira when they hear footsteps on the attic stairs. Heavy, deliberate footsteps. Victoria's voice cuts through the silence, cold and sharp. "I thought I might find you two up here. You've been very busy little detectives, haven't you?" Victoria stands in the attic doorway, blocking their only exit. In her hand is a syringe filled with clear liquid. The twins back against the attic wall, clutching their mother's journals tightly. The single bulb hanging from the ceiling casts harsh shadows across Victoria's face, making her look like something from a nightmare. Maya positions herself slightly in front of Mira, protective instinct overriding fear. Victoria takes a slow step forward, her heels clicking on the wooden floor. "Your mother was just like you," she says, her voice eerily calm. "Too curious, too stubborn, too present. She stood between me and everything I deserved. Marcus was supposed to be mine. We met first, did you know that? At a charity gala 5 years before he even knew Simone existed. I saw him across the room, successful, handsome, ambitious, everything I wanted in a husband." Victoria's eyes glaze over, lost in memory. "We talked for hours that night. I thought we had a connection. I gave him my number. I waited for him to call, but he never did. Then 6 months later, I see him again at another event, and he's with her. Simone. This nobody from nowhere, with her natural hair and her loud laugh and her complete lack of sophistication. She had nothing, no family money, no social standing, no connections. She was a diversity hire at some nonprofit. And yet, he looked at her like she was the most precious thing in the world. Mira finds her voice, trembling but brave. Because she was. Because Mommy was kind and loving and real. Not fake like you. Victoria's expression hardens. Real? Is that what you think? Your mother was weak. She loved too much, trusted too easily. That's why she lost. I spent years planning. I researched her, learned everything about her. I befriended her at a fundraiser, played the lonely woman looking for connection. She welcomed me into your lives with open arms. Foolish woman. She never saw it coming. Maya's hands shake, but she holds the journal tighter. You destroyed her. You drugged her. You made everyone think she was crazy. Victoria laughs, and it's a sound devoid of warmth. I made her actually go crazy. It wasn't hard. A few pills switched in her medication bottle. Some well-timed anonymous calls to Child Protective Services reporting concerning behavior. Staging incidents where she looked unstable. Drugging Marcus so he'd doubt her when she tried to tell him what was happening. By the time I was done, everyone believed Simone Thompson was a mentally ill woman who couldn't handle motherhood. The truth is spoken with pride, like Victoria is recounting a business success rather than the destruction of a human life. She continues, taking another step closer. The day I had her committed was almost too easy. I told her I'd arranged for a psychiatric evaluation to help clear her name. She was so desperate to prove her sanity that she agreed. But the psychiatrist was my cousin, Harold. He owed me a favor after I helped him through some legal troubles. One evaluation, a few leading questions, and suddenly Simone was diagnosed with severe delusional disorder. Harold signed the commitment papers. I forged Marcus's signature. And just like that, your mother disappeared into Mercy Psychiatric Hospital. Mira is crying now, tears streaming down her face. But why? Why did you want to hurt her so much? Victoria's face contorts with rage. Because she took what was mine. Marcus was supposed to choose me. I'm from the right family, the right background. I could have opened doors for him, elevated his career, made him truly powerful. But he chose her. He chose a black woman with no pedigree, no connections, nothing to offer but herself. And then they had you two, and suddenly he had this perfect little family. Everything I wanted. Everything that should have been mine. The racism that Victoria usually disguises now pours out uncensored. Your mother was inferior in every way. She didn't belong in Marcus's world. She didn't belong in this neighborhood, in these social circles. Every time I saw them together, it was an insult. She was playing house in a life she had no right to, so I took it from her. Piece by piece. And now it's mine. Marcus is mine. This house is mine. Even you two are mine. Maya's fear transforms into anger. We're not yours. We'll never be yours. You're evil. Victoria's smile is chilling. Evil? No, darling. I'm practical. Your mother was an obstacle. I removed her. Your father was a target. I acquired him. And you two? You're complications that need to be resolved. The twins realize the full horror of their situation. Victoria isn't just confessing, she's threatening them. She never intended to let them leave this attic. The syringe in her hand isn't just for show. Mira whispers, "What's in that?" Victoria glances at the syringe almost affectionately. Enough sedative to put both of you to sleep permanently. Tonight's house fire will be tragic. 2 young girls, playing with Christmas candles unsupervised, causing a terrible accident. The old wiring in this attic will be blamed. You'll be found in your beds, overcome by smoke inhalation. Marcus will be devastated, of course. But I'll comfort him. He'll lean on me even more. And with Simone permanently committed and you two gone, everything Marcus has becomes mine. That prenup Simone refused to sign won't matter if there's no one left to contest it. Maya's mind races. They need to buy time. They need someone to hear them. She takes a deep breath and says loudly, hoping her voice carries, "You won't get away with this. People know the truth. We sent evidence to Aunt Jasmine." Victoria's confidence wavers slightly. Jasmine can't help you. She's been discredited. No one will believe a social worker with a history of complaints against white foster families. Maya presses. We have recordings. We have the USB drive with security footage. We have Mommy's journals. We sent copies to the police. It's a lie, but Maya sells it with conviction. Victoria's eyes narrow. You're bluffing. No 7-year-old would think to do that. But there's doubt in her voice now. She takes a step back, thinking. Then from downstairs comes a sound that changes everything. A crash. A door being forced open. A man's voice, louder and clearer than they've heard in months. "Victoria! Where are my daughters?" It's their father, and he sounds awake, alert, angry. Then another voice, strong and familiar. "Marcus, listen to me. Your wife called me from the hospital. Simone's alive." She's been calling the nurses' station, begging them to contact family. I got through to her yesterday. Victoria has been keeping her drugged and institutionalized. Aunt Jasmine. She came. She actually came. Victoria's face goes white with fury and panic. She didn't know Simone had regained enough clarity to make calls. She didn't know her careful system was unraveling. The twins see their chance. Maya grabs the journals and USB drive from where she dropped them. Both girls scream at the top of their lungs. "Daddy, we're in the attic! Help us!" "She's trying to hurt us." Victoria lunges toward them with the syringe, but Maya throws a heavy box at her legs. The box connects hard, and Victoria stumbles. The twins bolt past her toward the attic stairs. Victoria grabs Mira's ankle, her grip iron tight. Mira kicks desperately, landing a solid hit on Victoria's face. Blood spurts from Victoria's nose. Maya doesn't hesitate. She beats Victoria's arm with their mother's journal, hitting as hard as a 7-year-old can hit. Victoria's grip loosens just enough. Mira wrenches free, and they tumble down the attic stairs, scrambling, falling, desperate. They land at the bottom just as their father reaches them. Marcus Thompson catches his daughters, and for the first time in 2 years, his eyes are clear. Really, truly clear. No fog, no confusion. Just a father terrified for his children. Maya thrusts the journals and USB drive into his hands. "Daddy, read them. Mom didn't leave. Victoria put her in a hospital. She's been drugging you. She forged your signature." All of it comes tumbling out in a rush. Marcus's hands shake as he takes the evidence, but before he can look at it, Aunt Jasmine steps forward. She's exactly as the twins remember. Tall, proud, with natural hair styled in beautiful locks and fierce protective eyes. She's already on her phone. "I need officers immediately at 47 Lakeview Drive in Greenwich. Children in danger. I have evidence of fraud, forgery, kidnapping, and attempted murder. Yes, I'm serious. Send them now." Victoria descends the attic stairs slowly, composing herself even with blood streaming from her nose. She's still holding the syringe, but she hides it behind her back. Her voice is smooth, controlled. "Marcus, darling, you're confused. Your medication must be wearing off too quickly. Let me make you some tea and we'll talk about this calmly. Jasmine is filling your head with paranoid delusions. The children found some old journals and misunderstood. You know how imaginative they are." But Marcus is reading now. His hands tremble as he opens Simone's journal, scanning the pages. His face cycles through confusion, recognition, horror, and then rage. Pure, righteous rage. His voice, when he speaks, is stronger than it's been in 2 years. "I never signed these commitment papers. This isn't my signature. Victoria, what have you done? Where is Simone? What have you done to my wife?" Victoria's carefully constructed mask begins to crack. She tries to maintain her composure, stepping down from the attic stairs with blood still trickling from her nose. "Marcus, please, let me explain. I was trying to help. Simone was genuinely ill. You know she was having episodes. I did what I thought was best for everyone." But Marcus is reading faster now, flipping through pages of Simone's journal. With each entry, his expression darkens. He reads about Victoria drugging him, forging signatures, staging incidents to make Simone appear unstable. His hands clench around the journal so tightly the pages crumple. The twins watch their father wake up, really wake up, for the first time in 2 years. It's like watching someone emerge from underwater, gasping for air. "You drugged me," he whispers, disbelief and horror mixing in his voice. "You've been drugging me for years. That tea you made me every night. The food you insisted on preparing. I thought I was losing my mind. I couldn't remember things. I couldn't think clearly. I signed documents I don't remember signing. I believed lies you told me about my own wife." Victoria takes another step back, calculating her options. The syringe is still hidden behind her back. Jasmine sees it and moves protectively in front of the twins. "Victoria, put down whatever you're holding. The police are coming. This is over." Victoria's laugh is bitter, desperate. "Over? This will never be over until I get what I deserve. Simone took everything from me. She took Marcus. She took the life I was meant to have. She took my future. So I took it back. I removed the obstacle." And she drops all pretense, the racism she's hidden behind polite language finally unleashed. Your precious Simone, with her natural hair and her ethnic pride and her complete lack of breeding. She didn't deserve Marcus. She was ordinary, common. She came from nothing. She had nothing to offer except herself. And somehow that was enough for him. He looked at her like she was a queen when she was barely qualified to clean houses in this neighborhood. Marcus recoils like he's been slapped. "You kept my wife imprisoned for 2 years because of your racist jealousy? Because you couldn't stand that I fell in love with a black woman instead of you?" Victoria's composure shatters completely. She screams, not caring anymore who hears. "She took what was mine. You were mine. We met first. I gave you everything, every opportunity to choose me. But you threw it away for her. This life, this house, this success, it was supposed to be mine. So I took it. I destroyed her credibility, made everyone believe she was crazy, had her locked away where she couldn't interfere. I drugged you until you forgot what you loved about her. I forged documents, bribed doctors, manipulated everyone around you. And it worked. For 2 years I had everything. This house, your money, your name, even your children." Mira starts crying. "We're not your children. We never were. You're a monster." The words hit Victoria like a physical blow. Her face contorts with rage, and she pulls the syringe from behind her back, holding it out like a weapon. "I gave you everything. I fed you, clothed you, tolerated your presence in my house. And this is how you repay me? By snooping, by ruining everything? You ungrateful little brats. You're just like your mother, too stubborn, too defiant, too black for this world I created." Marcus steps between Victoria and his daughters, his voice deadly calm. "If you take one step toward my children, I will end you myself." Victoria points the syringe at Marcus instead. "If I can't have you in this life, no one will, especially not Simone. She'll rot in that hospital, and your children will watch you die knowing their mother is locked away and insane." She moves forward, syringe raised. But 7-year-old Maya, standing behind her father, remembers something their mother taught them 3 years ago. Simone had enrolled them in a self-defense class at the community center, teaching them how to protect themselves. Victoria had mocked it as paranoid and unnecessary, but their mother had insisted. "You need to know how to fight back," she'd told them. "The world isn't always safe, especially for little black girls. If someone ever tries to hurt you, you do whatever it takes to get away." Maya doesn't think. She acts on instinct and training. She darts around her father and kicks the back of Victoria's knee as hard as she can, exactly like she was taught. Hit the soft spots, knees, ankles, anywhere that buckles. Victoria's leg gives out beneath her. She stumbles, arms windmilling for balance. Marcus lunges forward, grabbing for the syringe. Victoria fights back, scratching at his face, trying to stab him with the needle. They struggle, crashing into the hallway table. A vase falls and shatters. The syringe swings wildly through the air. Then a gunshot cracks through the house. Everyone freezes. Victoria has a gun. She must have dropped the syringe and pulled the gun from her other pocket. She's pointing it at Marcus, her hand shaking, her face twisted with desperation and hate. "Nobody's taking anything from me again," she says, voice breaking. "If I can't have you in this life, no one will. Especially not Simone. She'll rot in that hospital, and your children will watch you die knowing their mother is locked away and insane. You took everything from me, Marcus. You chose her over me. You chose them over me. And now you'll all pay for it." But in her rage and desperation, Victoria makes a fatal mistake. She doesn't notice Maya slipping behind her again, doesn't see Mira moving to the other side. The twins have spent their whole lives moving as one unit, thinking as one brain. They don't need to speak to know what the other is thinking. On some unspoken signal, Maya kicks Victoria's knee again, while Mira grabs her gun arm, pulling down with all her 7-year-old weight. Victoria's finger squeezes the trigger reflexively. The gun fires, but the bullet goes up into the ceiling, plaster raining down. Marcus lunges forward, years of fog burning away in pure adrenaline. He grabs the gun, twisting Victoria's wrist until she's forced to let go. The weapon clatters to the floor. Jasmine, who has been recording everything on her phone, rushes forward and tackles Victoria to the ground, pinning her with surprising strength. "Don't you move!" she hisses. "Those babies just saved your life. If I had my way, you'd never see daylight again." Victoria struggles, screaming obscenities and threats and racist slurs. The ugly truth of who she really is pours out uncensored. "I should have killed you all. I should have burned this house down with all of you in it. You don't deserve this life. None of you deserve it." Marcus picks up the gun carefully, checking the safety, holding it away from everyone. He's shaking, tears streaming down his face. He looks at his daughters, really looks at them, and sees them clearly for the first time in 2 years. "You saved us," he whispers. "You're 7 years old and you saved us all." Police sirens wail outside, getting closer. Red and blue lights flash through the windows. Officers burst through the front door moments later, weapons drawn. Jasmine identifies herself immediately. "I'm Jasmine Porter, social worker. This woman, Victoria Thompson, attempted to murder these children and their father. She's been holding my sister, Simone Thompson, illegally imprisoned in a psychiatric facility for 2 years. I have recorded evidence of her confessing to fraud, forgery, kidnapping, and attempted murder. The officers take in the scene. Marcus holding a gun. Victoria pinned to the floor by Jasmine, still screaming. Two terrified little girls clutching journals and a USB drive. Blood and broken glass everywhere. They separate everyone, taking statements. Marcus hands over the gun carefully, explaining what happened. The twins show the officers their evidence. The journals, the forged documents, the security footage on the USB drive, the syringe still lying on the floor near the attic stairs. Lab tests will later reveal it contained a lethal dose of sedatives, enough to kill both children. Victoria is arrested, handcuffed, and read her rights. She's still screaming as they lead her to the patrol car. "This is my house, mine. They're lying. All of them. They're trying to steal from me. You can't do this to me. Do you know who my family is? My father will destroy all of you." The racist entitlement pours out even as the car door closes on her. The police station is cold and fluorescent bright. The twins sit wrapped in blankets someone gave them, clutching hot chocolate they haven't touched. Marcus is in another room giving his statement. Jasmine sits with the girls, her arm around both of them. Detectives come and go, asking gentle questions, taking evidence. The journals are photographed. The USB drive is examined. The syringe is bagged and tagged. Officers are dispatched to Mercy Psychiatric Hospital with a warrant. Everything moves both too fast and too slow. The twins are exhausted but too wired to sleep. Every time they close their eyes, they see Victoria with that syringe, with that gun. They hear her screaming about how she deserves their lives more than they do. Maya's hands won't stop shaking. A kind detective named Rodriguez sits with them, speaking softly. "You girls are incredibly brave. What you did tonight, gathering evidence, protecting yourselves, that took real courage. Most adults couldn't do what you did. Can you tell me how long you suspected something was wrong?" The twins look at each other, having a silent conversation only they can have. Then Maya speaks. "Since the beginning. Since the day Mommy disappeared, we knew she wouldn't leave us. We knew something was wrong, but we were only 5 years old then. Nobody listens to 5-year-olds, especially not when a nice white lady is telling a different story." Detective Rodriguez nods, writing notes. "What made you start investigating?" Mira answers this time. "Last week, Maya found medical records in Victoria's study. That's when we knew for sure. Mommy didn't go to Europe. She was in a hospital. Victoria put her there. So we started looking for proof. We found the journals in the attic, the USB drive in Daddy's safe, the forged signatures, everything. We knew if we didn't have proof, nobody would believe us over Victoria." The detective's expression is troubled. "You're right. That's a hard truth, but it's true. Victoria Whitmore comes from a very wealthy, very influential family. Her father is a judge. Her mother sits on the boards of half the charities in Connecticut. Without concrete evidence, it would have been your word against hers. And the system, unfortunately, often believes powerful white adults over black children. It's not right, but it's reality." Jasmine hugs the twins tighter. "But you got the evidence. You exposed her. You saved yourselves and your father and your mother. You did what the adults around you failed to do." In another room, Marcus is going through his own reckoning. Blood tests confirm he's been systematically drugged with benzodiazepines and other sedatives for at least 2 years. The medications explain his memory loss, cognitive impairment, and suggestibility. Victoria had been controlling his diet completely, ensuring every meal and drink contained enough drugs to keep him compliant, but not enough to be obviously impaired. Doctors tell him it will take weeks, maybe months, for his system to fully clear. He may never recover all his lost memories. Marcus is devastated. He signed documents he doesn't remember signing. He gave Victoria access to his bank accounts, his business, his life. He let her abuse his daughters. He believed lies about his wife. The guilt is crushing. "I let her destroy Simone," he tells Detective Rodriguez, tears streaming down his face. "The woman I loved more than anything in the world. I promised to protect her. And instead, I let a monster lock her away. For 2 years, Simone was in that hospital, drugged and isolated, thinking we abandoned her. thinking our daughters forgot about her. And I did nothing, worse than nothing. I helped Victoria do it. I was so drugged I couldn't think straight, but that's not an excuse. I should have fought harder. I should have known. Detective Rodriguez's voice is gentle but firm. Mr. Thompson, you were the victim of a calculated long-term poisoning. Victoria Whitmore spent years planning this. She studied you, your wife, your family. She knew exactly how to manipulate the situation. This wasn't your fault, but Marcus can't forgive himself. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Meanwhile, at Mercy Psychiatric Hospital, officers arrive with a warrant and a psychiatrist not connected to the facility. They find Simone Thompson in a locked ward, heavily sedated. The medical records show she's been kept in a near-constant state of sedation for 23 months. The few times she became lucid enough to ask questions or demand to see her family, her medication was increased. Staff notes reveal multiple instances of Simone begging to call her daughters, trying to explain she wasn't insane, pleading with nurses to verify her story. All of these instances were dismissed as delusions. One nurse had finally listened last week, letting Simone make a call from the nurses' station when no one was watching. That call reached Jasmine, who had been desperately trying to find her sister for 2 years. That one act of compassion from one sympathetic nurse set everything in motion that led to tonight. Officers interview hospital staff. Some are horrified, claiming they had no idea Simone was wrongfully committed. Others are suspiciously defensive. The hospital administrator, Dr. Gerald Morrison, is particularly nervous. When officers search his office, they find evidence of payments from Victoria Whitmore totaling over $200,000 over 2 years. He's arrested on the spot for conspiracy and fraud. The truth emerges, piece by piece. Mercy Psychiatric Hospital is a for-profit facility with a history of questionable practices. Several staff members accepted bribes to keep certain patients heavily medicated and isolated. Simone wasn't the only victim. Officers find at least 4 other patients who may have been wrongfully committed for similar reasons. The whole facility is shut down pending investigation. At 3 a.m, an ambulance brings Simone to Greenwich Hospital for evaluation and treatment. She's conscious, but groggy, confused, frightened. The world doesn't make sense. She knows she has daughters, but her memories are fragmented, damaged by 2 years of forced sedation. She thinks it might still be 2 years ago. She doesn't understand why strangers are asking her questions. A psychiatrist named Dr. Sarah Chen evaluates her carefully. Simone is physically malnourished, dehydrated, showing signs of long-term medication effects. Psychologically, she's traumatized but not psychotic. Dr. Chen's initial assessment finds no evidence of the severe mental illness Victoria claimed existed. "What I'm seeing, Doctor," Chen tells the gathered officers and social workers, "is a woman who was systematically abused, gaslit, and chemically restrained. The trauma is severe. Her memories are affected by the prolonged sedation. But there's no evidence of delusional disorder or any condition that would have warranted involuntary commitment. In my professional opinion, Simone Thompson was wrongfully institutionalized. She'll need time, therapy, and medical support to recover. But she was never insane. She was imprisoned. Jasmine is allowed to see Simone first. The twins wait outside with their father, terrified and hopeful. When Jasmine emerges from Simone's room, she's crying. She beckons the family inside. Simone's hospital room is small and sterile. She's propped up in bed, an IV in her arm rehydrating her. She looks so much thinner than the twins remember. Her hair is matted, her skin ashen, her eyes hollow. But when she sees her daughters, something shifts. Recognition flickers. "My babies?" Her voice is hoarse from disuse, cracking on the words. "Maya? Mira? Are you real?" The twins run to her. They hug her carefully, afraid she might break. Simone touches their faces with trembling hands, tears streaming down her cheeks. "You're so big. You're so much bigger. How long has it been? What happened? Where am I?" Maya pulls out their mother's journal from her backpack, the one they found in the attic. "We found your words, Mommy. We read everything. You were never crazy. Victoria did this to you. She drugged you and Daddy and got you locked away. But we found you. We saved you. Simone clutches the journal to her chest and sobs. Deep, wrenching sobs that shake her whole body. The twins cry with her. Marcus stands at the foot of the bed, guilt and love warring on his face. Simone, I'm so sorry. I let her do this to you. I believed her lies. I was drugged, but that's not an excuse. I should have protected you. I failed you. Simone looks at her husband through tears. It's not your fault. I read about her in the trial papers Jasmine showed me. Victoria is a monster. She planned everything. We were both her victims. Marcus moves closer, reaching for Simone's hand. She takes it, squeezing weakly. For a moment, there's hope that their family might heal. But then Dr. Chen returns with devastating news. I need to discuss something with you all. Victoria's lawyer had Simone declared legally incompetent 18 months ago. Even with Victoria now arrested, those legal documents still stand. Until Simone can prove mental competency through extensive evaluation, she can't regain custody of her children, can't access her own bank accounts, can't make her own medical decisions. Legally, she's still considered incapacitated. The room goes silent. The twins don't fully understand the legal terminology, but they understand the core of it. They found their mother, but they still can't go home to her. How long will the evaluation take? Jasmine asks. Doctor? Chen's expression is sympathetic, but realistic. These cases typically take months, sometimes years. Simone will need to demonstrate sustained mental stability, undergo psychological testing, appear before a competency board. The legal system moves slowly, and given that she's been institutionalized for 2 years on Victoria's fabricated evidence, the burden of proof is on Simone to demonstrate she was wrongfully committed. It's backwards and unjust, but that's how the system works. Maya feels the unfairness of it like a physical weight. They did everything right. They gathered evidence. They exposed Victoria. They saved their mother. But the system Victoria manipulated still traps their mother in its bureaucratic machinery. Mira asks the question they're all thinking. So what happens to us? Where do we go? Marcus speaks up. You stay with me. I have custody. We'll go somewhere new, away from that house, away from everything Victoria touched, and we'll visit your mother every single day until she comes home. Jasmine adds, and I'll be there every step of the way. I'm not letting anyone separate this family again. Simone holds her daughters close. You found me. That's what matters. You didn't give up on me. Even when everyone else believed Victoria's lies, you knew the truth. You're the strongest, bravest girls in the world. We'll get through this. It might take time, but we'll get through it together. The family holds each other while machines beep softly and dawn starts to break outside the hospital window. Victoria is in custody, but the damage she caused will take much longer to repair than one night of justice. The weeks following that Christmas Eve are both painful and hopeful. Marcus immediately moves out of the house he shared with Victoria, unable to spend another night surrounded by her lies. He takes the twins to a temporary apartment while he searches for a new home. Everything from the old house feels contaminated by Victoria's presence. Jasmine helps them settle in, becoming a constant presence in their lives. She takes personal leave from her job as a social worker to help her family heal. She drives the twins to visit their mother every afternoon after school. She sits with Marcus through his medical treatments as his body slowly purges 2 years of accumulated drugs from his system. She coordinates with lawyers, doctors, and police as the case against Victoria builds. The evidence is overwhelming. The USB drive alone contains dozens of videos showing Victoria's systematic abuse. Drugging Marcus's food and drinks, forging documents, meeting with the corrupt hospital administrator, money changing hands, practicing signatures, and most damning, that phone call with her mother, where Victoria explicitly laid out her plan. I'm going to get everything I deserve. Simone will rot in a hospital. Marcus will be mine, completely under my control. And if those mixed children become problems, there are permanent solutions. Nobody will question a house fire. Accidents happen. That recording plays in court during Victoria's bail hearing. The judge's face hardens as she listens. Victoria's expensive lawyers argue for bail, claiming she's not a flight risk, that she has deep ties to the community. But the prosecution presents the syringe, the gun, the testimony of two 7-year-old girls who nearly died. Bail is denied. Victoria will await trial in custody. Her wealthy family tries to help at first, but as the full scope of her crimes emerges, they distance themselves. Her father, Judge Whitmore, issues a terse public statement. The family does not condone Victoria's alleged actions. We are shocked and deeply disturbed by these accusations. We will not be providing financial or legal support moving forward. Behind the statement is naked self-preservation. Judge Whitmore knows that any association with Victoria's crimes could destroy his own career. Her mother makes no statement at all, simply stops returning calls from the media. Victoria is alone. Meanwhile, Marcus works with doctors to recover from the drugging. His memories slowly return, but they're fragmented, incomplete. He remembers loving Simone, remembers their early years together, but entire months from the past 2 years are just blank spaces. Doctors tell him some memories may never come back. The long-term sedation caused real neurological damage. He attends therapy twice a week, working through the guilt and trauma. "I let her hurt my family," he tells his therapist. "I was drugged, yes, but I still feel responsible. I should have noticed. I should have fought harder." The therapist helps him reframe his thinking. "You were a victim of a sophisticated long-term poisoning. Victoria spent years planning this. She knew exactly how to manipulate the situation. You're not responsible for her crimes. But forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, takes time." The twins also go to therapy. They have nightmares about Victoria with the syringe, with the gun. They wake up sometimes thinking they're still in that house, still trapped. Their therapist teaches them coping mechanisms, helps them process their trauma. "You survived something terrible," the therapist tells them. "And you did it by being smart, brave, and resourceful. Those are strengths you'll carry with you forever." But some scars take longer to heal. The twins struggle in school. They flinch when they see white women who remind them of Victoria. They have panic attacks during fire drills. They don't trust easily anymore. But they have each other. And they have their family fighting to come back together. Simone's recovery is harder. 2 years of heavy sedation did real damage. She has to relearn basic things: how to focus for long periods, how to trust her own memories, how to exist outside the controlled environment of the institution. She does physical therapy to rebuild muscle wasted from inactivity, occupational therapy to regain fine motor skills, cognitive therapy to repair the damage the drugs did to her memory and processing. Every day, the twins visit. They bring her drawings, tell her about school, read to her. Slowly, her memories sharpen. She starts remembering details: their first day of kindergarten, their 5th birthday party, the bedtime stories she used to tell them, small things that prove she's still their mother inside. After 6 weeks, she's well enough to leave the hospital. But she can't go home with her family. Not yet. The legal declaration of incompetence still stands. Instead, she moves into a supervised living facility for people recovering from institutionalization. She has her own small apartment, but staff check on her regularly. She has to prove she can function independently before the Competency Evaluation Board will even hear her case. It's humiliating and infuriating, but it's the system Victoria set up, and now Simone has to work through it. She attends group therapy with other survivors of wrongful commitment. Their stories are hauntingly similar. Manipulative partners or family members who wanted control, corrupt doctors who took bribes, a legal system that believed authority figures over victims. One woman, Karen, was institutionalized by her husband for 15 years because she threatened to divorce him. Another man, James, was committed by his brother who wanted his inheritance. The stories make Simone's blood boil. "How many people are trapped like I was?" she asks Jasmine during a visit. "How many families are destroyed by people like Victoria?" Jasmine squeezes her hand. "Too many. That's why we're going to fight. Not just for you, but for all of them." They consult with civil rights lawyers. They document everything. They prepare not just for Simone's competency hearing, but for a larger lawsuit against Mercy Psychiatric Hospital and the system that enabled Victoria's abuse. Meanwhile, Victoria's trial date approaches. The prosecution's case is airtight. They have video evidence, audio recordings, physical evidence like the forged documents and the syringe, testimony from multiple witnesses including the twins, Marcus, Jasmine, hospital staff, and Victoria's own words during her arrest. Victoria's lawyers try to build a defense. They claim she was trying to help Simone, that the commitment was well-intentioned. They paint her as a woman in love who went too far, not a criminal. They suggest the twins misunderstood what they saw. They try to discredit Jasmine's testimony by bringing up her complaints against other foster families. But the evidence is too strong. Even Victoria's own lawyers seem to know the case is unwinnable. They push for a plea deal. The prosecution refuses. This case is too high profile, too important. They want a full trial and a full conviction. In late February, jury selection begins. The twins don't attend. They're too young, and the judge rules their testimony can be given via recorded deposition to spare them additional trauma. But Marcus attends every day, sitting in the front row of the gallery. He wants Victoria to see him. He wants her to know he's awake now, that he remembers, that he'll never let her hurt his family again. On the third day of trial, something happens that changes everything. Victoria's lawyers call her to testify in her own defense. It's a desperate move, but they're out of options. Victoria takes the stand dressed conservatively, hair pulled back, minimal makeup. She's playing the part of the misunderstood woman, the victim of circumstances. Her lawyer asks gentle questions, leading her through her version of events. But then the prosecution gets to cross-examine. The prosecutor, a sharp woman named Angela Morrison, doesn't hold back. She plays the videos of Victoria poisoning Marcus's food. She plays the audio of Victoria threatening Simone. She plays Victoria's call with her mother about killing the twins in a house fire. She confronts Victoria with every lie, every manipulation, every crime. And Victoria breaks. She can't help herself. Her mask slips again. She starts defending her actions with the same racist entitlement she showed the night she was arrested. Simone didn't deserve Marcus. I deserved him. I came from the right family, the right background. She was nothing. A diversity hire playing house in a world she didn't belong in. She had no right to that life. I had every right to take it from her. The courtroom goes silent. The jury's faces reflect shock and disgust. Victoria's lawyers try to stop her, but she keeps going. And those children, those ungrateful mixed children who ruined everything. I gave them a proper home, proper education, tried to civilize them, and they turned on me. They destroyed everything I built. They should be grateful I didn't go through with the fire. They should be thankful I let them live as long as I did. It's a complete meltdown. Victoria's true nature is fully exposed in her own words. The racism, the entitlement, the complete lack of remorse. When she finally stops talking, her lawyers look defeated. The jury looks furious. The judge looks disgusted. The prosecution rests their case that afternoon. They don't need to say anything else. Victoria convicted herself with her own testimony. The jury deliberates for less than 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. Attempted murder of 2 minors. Kidnapping, fraud, forgery, conspiracy, assault. The list goes on. 16 felony counts in total. At sentencing 2 weeks later, Marcus is allowed to give a victim impact statement. He stands before the court, looking directly at Victoria. You tried to erase my wife. You tried to erase my children. You drugged me, controlled me, turned me into a puppet. You did all of this because of your racism, your entitlement, your belief that you deserved the life someone else built. But you failed. My family survived you. We're broken, traumatized, but we survived. And we're going to heal together. You'll spend the rest of your life in prison knowing you lost, knowing that the family you tried to destroy is stronger than you ever were. The judge sentences Victoria to 25 years in state prison without possibility of parole for 15 years. Given her age, 43, She'll be nearly 60 before she even has a chance at freedom. Court adjourned. Officers lead Victoria away in handcuffs. She doesn't scream this time. She just looks stunned, like she can't believe this is really happening to her. How could the system fail her? How could her wealth and connections not save her? But for once, the system worked. Justice was served. Outside the courthouse, media swarms the family. Marcus makes a brief statement with Jasmine and the twins beside him. Today, justice was served. But our fight isn't over. My wife, Simone Thompson, is still working through a system that wrongfully institutionalized her. There are others like her, trapped in facilities, declared incompetent based on lies and corruption. We're going to fight for all of them. We're going to make sure what happened to our family never happens to anyone else. The cameras flash. Questions are shouted. But the family walks away together, heading to the car where they'll drive to the supervised living facility to tell Simone the news. Victoria Whitmore was sentenced to 25 years. It's over. They won. But winning Victoria's conviction doesn't solve everything. The system Victoria manipulated still holds Simone in its grip. Over the next months, the competency evaluation process drags on. Simone undergoes psychological testing, cognitive assessments, interviews with court-appointed psychiatrists. Each evaluation costs money they don't have. Marcus's finances are still tangled up in legal proceedings. Victoria had control of his accounts for 2 years. Sorting out what she stole, what she moved, what she spent, takes months of work with forensic accountants. They discover Victoria embezzled over $300,000 from Marcus's business accounts. She bought jewelry, vacations, expensive gifts for her friends, all while keeping Marcus drugged enough not to notice. Some of the money is recoverable. Much of it is gone. The family goes from wealthy to struggling almost overnight. Marcus has to sell the house in Greenwich. Too many bad memories. Too much money tied up in a property he can't afford anymore. They move to a modest 3-bedroom apartment in a diverse neighborhood in Stamford. It's smaller, older, nothing like the luxury they lived in before. But it's theirs, and it's far from Victoria's world. The twins change schools. Their old private academy was full of Victoria's friends' children. Maya and Mira faced whispers, stares, questions. Are you the girls whose stepmother tried to kill them? Is it true your mom was in a mental hospital? The new public school is better, more diverse, more accepting. The twins slowly start to make friends. During this time, Simone continues proving she's competent. She gets a part-time job at a community center. She attends therapy religiously. She takes parenting classes, even though she's been a mother for 7 years. She does everything the evaluation board requires and more. But the board keeps delaying her hearing. One evaluator wants more testing. Another wants longer observation. The bureaucracy seems designed to move as slowly as possible. Jasmine fights them every step of the way. She files motions, submits expert testimony, brings in advocates, but the system resists change. Then Victoria's family makes a move. Despite their public disavowal, they quietly fund a lawsuit against Simone and Marcus. They claim Victoria's conviction was unjust, that she was mentally ill herself, that the Thompson family pursued charges out of revenge rather than justice. They demand Marcus return assets they claim Victoria legally owned. It's harassment disguised as legal action. The goal isn't to win. It's to drain the family's resources, force them to spend money on lawyers instead of on Simone's evaluation process. It's vindictive and cruel, but it works. Marcus has to hire lawyers to defend against the suit. Money that could have gone to helping Simone regain competency instead goes to legal fees. The twins see their father stressed constantly, working multiple jobs now that his career was derailed by the drugging. He lost 2 years of professional momentum. His position was filled. He's starting over in his 40s with a damaged reputation through no fault of his own. Some people still blame him. They ask why he didn't notice sooner, why he didn't protect his wife. The victim blaming is relentless, but the family perseveres. They develop routines, school, work, therapy, visits to Simone. Slowly, painfully, they start to heal. Then in June, 6 months after Victoria's conviction, the Competency Board finally schedules Simone's hearing. It's set for late July. The family prepares intensively. Simone practices her testimony with lawyers. They gather evidence of her stability, letters from employers, therapists, friends, records of her parenting classes, documentation of every hoop she jumped through. The hearing is in a sterile government building. Simone sits at a table with her lawyers. Across from her sits the state's attorney arguing she should remain under legal guardianship. Marcus and the twins sit in the gallery. Jasmine sits beside them, holding their hands. For 3 hours, Simone is questioned. About her mental health history, about what happened 2 years ago, about her current functioning. She answers every question calmly, clearly. She admits she was gaslit and traumatized, but maintains she was never mentally ill. She explains how Victoria manipulated the system to have her wrongfully committed. The state's attorney pushes back. If you were coherent enough to know what was happening, why didn't you fight harder? Why didn't you convince someone? Simone's voice is steady but emotional. I tried. Every day I tried. But I was drugged constantly. When I became lucid enough to ask questions, my medication was increased. I begged nurses to let me call my family. Most refused, believing I was delusional. The system was designed to keep me silent. And when a wealthy white woman tells doctors that a black woman is crazy, who does the system believe? It's a painful truth. The hearing board, 3 evaluators, and a judge listen carefully. They review her records. They ask follow-up questions. Then they deliberate. After an hour, they return. Based on the evidence presented, we find that Simone Thompson was wrongfully declared incompetent. The original evaluation was flawed, based on false information provided by Victoria Whitmore. Miss Thompson has demonstrated consistent mental stability, appropriate judgment, and strong parenting capabilities. Her legal competency is hereby restored. Effective immediately, she regains all rights, including custody of her children, control over her finances, and medical autonomy. The courtroom erupts. Marcus is crying. Jasmine is crying. The twins are sobbing with relief. Simone sits perfectly still for a moment, like she can't believe it's real. Then she stands and turns to her family. The bailiff allows them to come forward. They embrace in the middle of the courtroom, holding each other like they might never let go. That evening, Simone comes home. Not to a supervised facility. Home. To the small apartment in Stamford where her family lives. She walks through the door and just stands there, taking it in. It's not much. The furniture is second-hand. The carpet is worn. But it's home, and she's free. The twins give her a tour, showing her their room, explaining who sleeps where, pointing out their favorite spots. This is where we do homework. This is where Daddy makes breakfast. This is where we put our school pictures. We left space for you. Simone hangs her photo next to theirs. A family whole again. That night, for the first time in over 2 years, Simone tucks her daughters into bed. She reads them a story, her voice shaking with emotion. When she finishes, Maya asks, "Are you staying, Mommy? Really staying? Forever?" Simone pulls them close. "I'm never leaving you again. Never." They sleep better that night than they have in years. But the trauma doesn't vanish overnight. Simone still has nightmares about the hospital. The twins still have anxiety about being separated from their mother. Marcus still deals with guilt and missing memories. Healing takes time. And then there's the financial reality. Victoria's theft and the legal fees left them in debt. Marcus's career setback means money is tight. Simone's part-time job helps, but doesn't solve the problem. They live modestly, carefully, nothing like the wealth they had before. But they have something more important. They have each other. They have truth. They have justice. Then in September, 9 months after that Christmas Eve, a lawyer contacts them with surprising news. Victoria's assets are being liquidated to pay restitution to her victims. But there's a complication. During the investigation, forensic accountants discovered something Victoria never knew. When Victoria forged the postnuptial agreement, forcing Simone to give up rights to everything, she made an error. The document she created was legally invalid due to improper execution and lack of independent counsel. More than that, when Marcus was drugged and Victoria manipulated him into signing various papers, He unknowingly signed documents making Simone a co-owner of everything he acquired during their marriage. His company shares, his investments, his retirement accounts, everything. Victoria was so focused on destroying Simone that she accidentally made her wealthy. The lawyer explains. Victoria thought she was making Marcus sign paperwork to cut Simone out, but the documents actually did the opposite. And because Marcus was legally incapacitated due to the drugging, the signatures are valid but the intent was compromised. After reviewing everything with the judge, the ruling is that assets should be split as if Victoria's interference never happened. This means Simone owns half of everything Marcus earned during their marriage. It's a considerable sum, over $900,000 in stocks, savings, and retirement funds that were frozen during the legal proceedings. Simone, who Victoria imprisoned because she came from nothing and had nothing, is suddenly financially independent, secure, powerful. The irony is not lost on anyone. The very thing Victoria tried to steal became Simone's by Victoria's own manipulations backfiring. Marcus insists, Simone, keep it all. You deserve it after everything you went through. Use it however you want. But Simone has other plans. She doesn't want revenge money sitting in an account. She wants to transform her trauma into purpose. She establishes a foundation, the Maya and Mira Truth Foundation, named after her daughters who refused to let their mother be erased. The foundation's mission is helping Black women and women of color who have been victims of intimate partner abuse, gaslighting, and systemic racism in custody battles and competency hearings. It funds legal aid for women fighting wrongful psychiatric commitments. It provides therapy and support services. It trains lawyers and advocates on recognizing signs of abuse and manipulation. It pushes for policy changes to make it harder for abusers to weaponize the mental health system. Simone uses her story to advocate. She speaks at conferences, testifies before legislative committees, writes articles. She becomes the face of a movement to reform psychiatric commitment laws and protect vulnerable people from the kind of abuse she endured. The foundation grows quickly. Other survivors come forward wanting to help. Lawyers donate their time. Therapists offer pro bono services. Within months, the foundation has helped 12 women escape similar situations. By the end of the year, that number doubles. Simone doesn't just recover from what Victoria did to her. She turns it into something meaningful. She becomes a voice for the voiceless, a champion for the vulnerable, a force for change. On Christmas Eve, exactly 1 year after Maya and Mira found those medical records in Victoria's study, the family gathers at their apartment in Stamford. It's nothing fancy, no country club galas, no wealthy friends in pearls, just family. Marcus and Simone sit close together on the couch. They're not quite back to being a married couple. They're taking it slow, rebuilding trust, relearning each other. But there's love there. It never really died. Victoria tried to kill it, but it survived. Jasmine is there too, along with her partner Maria and their daughter Keisha, who's become like a cousin to the twins. The apartment smells of Simone's cooking. Real food, made with love, not catered perfection. They eat together, talking and laughing. The twins open presents, real presents, chosen with thought, not expensive gifts meant to impress. Maya gets art supplies because she's discovered she loves to draw. Mira gets a science kit because she wants to understand how medicines work so she can help people not hurt them like Victoria did. After dinner, Simone gives them each something special. Journals, leather-bound and beautiful. I want you to write your story, she says softly. Your real story. Not the one Victoria tried to create. Not the one the news tells. Your truth, in your own words. So you never forget who you are and what you survived. The twins hold their journals reverently. That night, after everyone else has gone home, after their parents are asleep, Maya and Mira sit together on Mira's bed with their journals open. They look at each other, these 7-year-old girls who became 8 this past year. These children who survived something that would break most adults. Maya writes first. Her handwriting is careful, deliberate. My name is Maya Thompson. This is my story. Mira writes beside her. Our story. The story of how we found our mother when everyone said she was gone. The story of how we fought a monster and won. They write about their mother, about her strength and love. They write about their father, slowly healing, slowly becoming himself again. They write about Aunt Jasmine, who never gave up. They write about being strong, even when they were small. About justice and truth and fighting back. They write about racism, about how it tried to destroy their family, and how they didn't let it. They write about the system that failed them, and how they're going to change it, because that's what their foundation is about, not just helping people. Changing the system that enabled Victoria's abuse in the first place. Over the next year, the Maya and Mira Truth Foundation gains national attention. Simone becomes a sought-after speaker. She testifies before Congress about reforming psychiatric commitment laws. She works with civil rights organizations to protect Black women from weaponized mental health accusations. She turns her pain into power, and she doesn't do it alone. Marcus becomes the foundation's financial director, using his business skills to manage their growing resources. Jasmine becomes the lead advocate, using her social work experience to guide clients through the system. Even the twins help. They speak at events for families, sharing their story, showing other children that they can be brave too. The foundation expands. They open legal clinics in 3 states. They create a hotline for women who suspect they're being gaslit or set up. They train hospital staff to recognize signs of wrongful commitment. They push for laws requiring independent psychiatric evaluations before anyone can be committed against their will. By the 2nd anniversary of that Christmas Eve, the Maya and Mira Truth Foundation has helped over 200 women, 200 mothers, who got to go home to their children. 200 families who stayed together instead of being torn apart. And Simone doesn't stop. She can't stop, because she knows there are more Victorias out there. More wealthy, entitled people who think they can erase others who don't fit their vision of who deserves success, love, family. More systems that believe powerful voices over vulnerable ones. But now there's a foundation fighting back. Now there are lawyers and advocates and survivors standing together saying no more. On that 2nd Christmas Eve, the family gathers again. But this time, it's bigger. The foundation hosts an event for all the families they've helped. Dozens of women and children gather in a rented community center, sharing food and stories and hope. Simone stands before them and speaks. 2 years ago, I was locked in a psychiatric hospital, drugged and isolated, believing I'd lost everything. My daughters, my husband, my freedom, my identity. A woman named Victoria Whitmore decided I didn't deserve the life I built because of the color of my skin, because she believed she was entitled to what I had. She tried to erase me. She almost succeeded. But she didn't count on my daughters, 7 years old and braver than anyone should have to be. They refused to believe the lies. They gathered evidence. They saved me. They saved our whole family. And now we're here, not just surviving, but fighting for others. The room fills with applause. Women stand and share their own stories. Stories of abusive partners who tried to have them committed to steal custody. Stories of family members who wanted inheritances. Stories of racism and manipulation and systems that failed them. But also stories of survival, of fighting back, of winning. The twins listen from the front row, holding their journals. They're 9 years old now, almost 10. They've been through more trauma than most people experience in a lifetime. But they're not broken. They're strong. That night, after the event, back in their apartment, Simone tucks them in one more time. They're getting too old for tucking in, but none of them want to give it up. These moments are precious. Tomorrow isn't promised. They learned that lesson early. "Mommy," Maya asks, "are you happy now?" Simone thinks about the question carefully. "I'm healing." Happiness isn't something you achieve once and keep forever. It's something you work toward every day. "But yes, baby, I'm happy. I have you. I have Mira. I have your father trying his best. I have Aunt Jazzy. I have purpose. Victoria tried to take everything from me. But I'm still here. We're still here. And we're making sure other families get to stay together too." She kisses their foreheads and turns off the light. In the darkness, Mira whispers, "We're proud of you, Mommy. You turned something terrible into something good. Simone's voice is thick with emotion. You two did that. You started this. You were the ones who refused to give up. You were the ones who found the truth. Everything that came after, everything good, started with your courage. She leaves their door cracked open, light from the hallway spilling into their room. As she walks down the hall, she passes photos on the wall. Pictures of the twins as babies. Their family before Victoria. New pictures of them all together, healing and whole. And in the center, a framed photo from the foundation's opening day. Simone standing with Maya and Mira, all three of them strong and free, beneath a banner that reads, "The Maya and Mira Truth Foundation. We found our mother. We'll help you find yours." Because every black woman deserves to be believed, protected, and remembered, and no one gets to erase us. Not ever again. Have you or someone you love ever experienced a time when you had to fight against a system that didn't believe you? Or have you witnessed the strength it takes to stand up for truth, even when you're small or powerless? I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, or made you think about the importance of fighting injustice, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more powerful stories about resilience, justice, and hope. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message today, because together we can raise awareness about the real struggles people face and the courage it takes to overcome them. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and for caring about these important stories. Remember, no matter how powerless you might feel, your voice matters, your truth matters, and you have the strength to fight for what's right. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next story. Take care, and may you always find the courage to stand up for yourself and those you love.